Hi friends, today we are going to be starting 13 different varieties of hot peppers. Now some of these are tried and true varieties that I grow every year, but I am trying a few new ones. So I'll explain that as we get to them. First one up today is Sugar Rush Peach. It has about 80,000 to 150,000 SHUs, which are Scoville heat units. So this pepper packs a bit of a punch. It has some tropical notes in its flavor, and the seeds add a smoky note. So I am interested in using this one for a hot sauce this year. I have so many dried peppers that I think it's time to work on fermenting some hot sauce. Next we come to Aji Mango, 25,000 SHUs, which definitely makes it a milder pepper than the previous one, but still a very hot pepper. This is another one that I want to make hot sauce with. I have never grown this one before, but they indicate it has the sweetness like a mango, but again has some heat. So I'm very excited to get all of these various levels of fermentation so that I can try them and even combine them to get the flavors that I'd like. Here we have Aji Pineapple, and as the name implies, it has some pineapple notes and definitely some tropical notes. I intend to make this also into a hot sauce. I'm very excited to see how these tropically overtoned peppers work in hot sauces, and adding fruits to them as I ferment them to see what kind of combinations we come up for. So I have grown Aji Pineapple in the past. Delicious pepper, very prolific, and I believe it has 20 to 30,000 SHUs. Next one is definitely a favorite. I've grown this for many, many years. This happens to be my son-in-law's favorite pepper, and I gift him every year a lot of Buena Mulata hot pepper flakes. But again, this year, it's going to be the hot sauce year. So this one has 30 to 50,000 SHUs, so definitely packs a punch. Looking forward to seeing what we can add to this very flavorful pepper to enhance it to become a hot sauce. And I will be doing videos on all of this fermentation and the outcome of the hot sauces and how I make them. Now I like to start 2 seeds in each cell so that I'm guaranteed one will germinate, because I'd like to give these a nice long period to get strong and healthy before, excuse me, before I move them outdoors. So Buena Mulatas. Now this is a new one for me. Mulata Isleno. This is a 2,500 to 3,000 SHU, so definitely much more mild. This is a brown poblano, and my understanding is that if you let them dry on the vine, they have an absolutely incredible flavor. So I think that would make it more of I think it's ancho chili that is made from a dried poblano. In any event, poblanos are definitely one of my favorite peppers. I do not grow any green bell peppers because I use poblanos in any application that I would use a green pepper. Next up is orange cayenne pepper, 35,000 SHUs, so also packs a little bit of a bunch. I'm growing these in orange more for picking, and so, as we pick them all and try to separate them, I thought it'd be nice not to have one pepper that was strictly red because so many of these come in ripe at red. So I'm giving orange cayenne a shot this year. Now I believe it is Tabasco sauce that is primarily made from cayenne peppers. I really don't expect to use this one in a sauce, but I might ferment some just to use it as an additive to beef up some of the other sauces. And again, we're doing 2 seeds per cell. Next up, this is one that I grew last year, and this will probably always be on my list. It's called the Colossus jalapeno, 2,800 to 3,000 SHUs. It grows first of all, very, very prolific. Secondly, they're very big jalapenos. So they work well for stuffing, making poppers out of. They dry beautifully. They have given me many hot chili, and the flavor is very classic jalapeno. If you've ever made cowboy candy, which uses jalapenos, this is a delightful jalapeno to use in a recipe like that. This is a new one for me this year. This is called Garden Salsa Hybrid. Comes in at about 3,000 SHUs, which is about jalapeno heat. I'm always looking for peppers that my husband can tolerate. He's not I can take more heat than he does. And I thought this one, depending on if the seeds are in or out, might work beautifully in making salsas for the summer. Next up, this is also a new one for me. This is Arroz Con Pollo, and this is a habanero look-alike. It's also flavored like a habanero, but if you remove the seeds, it has no heat. So I'm very anxious to find out if I can actually get those beautiful flavors of a habanero with no heat. Next up, I'm trying to replace an amazing. I used to grow a Korean drying pepper called Amazing 2, and Johnny Seeds is no longer carrying it, so I'm looking for a new Korean dried chili to make kimchi and gochujang and all of those wonderful flavors. So you want it to be colored, have some heat, but it's mainly for its deep red color and some of the flavor that it brings. So I'm actually trying 3 different varieties this year. That was one. This is just called Hot Pepper Korean, 15,000 SHUs, so a little milder than a jalapeno. But again, looking for that distinct Korean dried pepper flavor that is so, so good in so many things. I mean, I use this in my daily cooking as a dried flake all the time because it adds such wonderful flavor, and I just really need to find a replacement for the one that I can no longer grow. And this is called Korean dark green. Starts off green, ripens to a bright red, also at 15,000 SHUs, so not terribly hot. I would actually call this a little bit of a mild pepper, but I started it with my hot peppers because I really do want it to go in strong when summer hits. And lastly, today we are growing orange habanero, which is 250,000 SHUs. This is quite a hot habanero. I've heard many different tales about how you can get a habanero, remove some of the heat, and keep the flavor. So I'm going to fiddle with that a little bit this year. I'm also going to ferment some, again, because I might want to add that beautiful habanero flavor to some of these hot sauces that I'd like to try this year. So I'm not growing a whole lot of those. I just want about 2 plants because that should give me a lovely assortment of beautiful habaneros. So after we put in the 2 seeds per cell, just giving them a little cover, adding some water just to make sure that the seed is in contact with the growing medium. And the medium was, this is just a standard seed starting mix, and it was already dampened before we put the seeds in. So they're surrounded now in a nice moist environment to get their start. I like to also put vermiculite on the top of my cells because it's a very quick way to see if the cells are dry or are still retaining some moisture, because you might see by the end of the video here that they take on a slightly darker color as they're absorbing water from the cell. So hey, thank you so much for watching. I will keep you updated on these peppers, and have a great day and happy gardening to you. This is Audrey from Real Foods Comes Dirty. Thank you.